Hey, True Seekers, welcome back. Zach here. It's April 1st, 2017. Want to give you a mind-blowing post about the Yukon women's basketball team losing to Mississippi State, breaking the 111-game win streak, and what that loss has to do with Dak Prescott, who went to Mississippi State, and who is now the quarterback of the Dallas Cowboys. Last night's upset was in Dallas. Dak Prescott in attendance. This is definitive proof, just more of what I've been offering for the last 3 years, of how professional and collegiate sports are both scripted. They're scripted together as tributes, oftentimes to one another. Look at this. Mississippi State broke the 111-game win streak of UConn. And in the language of Gematria, Mississippi State sums to 111. In case you're new here, I'm going to link this calculator. Mississippi State, when spelled correctly in Gematria, yields a value of 111. These four numbers here, they're all based off the alphabetic order. They're all interrelated. To learn more about these ciphers, if you click on the method and on the right side of the screen, view cipher chart, it will show you what the value is for each letter. All of this based on the alphabetic order. A is 1, B is 2, C is 3, up to Z is 26, and backwards. Z is 1, Y is 2, X is 3, up to A is 26. Anyhow, Mississippi State 111. They end the Yukon Lady Huskies 111-game winning streak. And in a moment, I'll show you how that number connects to Dak Prescott. The woman who made the winning shot was Morgan William, MW initials. Notice the final score of the game was 66-64. Yukon Huskies, their winning streak snapped. It was Morgan William, 66, who hit the shot to win it with 66 points. And as I mentioned in the video I put out earlier on this, March Madness equals 64. Think about traditionally 64 teams to begin the tournament. March Madness 64, the score was 64-64 before the game-winning shot. So 66, the winning number for Dak Prescott's former college. Dak Prescott went to school at Mississippi State. Dak Prescott equals 66. So does NFL. And consider that the first Super Bowl season of the NFL was the 66th season. The NFL plays on Sunday, 66 books in most Bibles. Special number 66. NFL in Gematria also sums to 49. Like Dallas, here's a big game. College basketball in Dallas, the city where Dak Prescott now plays. Just want to show that overlap. Dallas Cowboys, one of the biggest grossing teams for the NFL. They used to call Dallas America's team. I think they might give that title to the Patriots now. I want to thank Cash Brown. It was Cash Brown who tipped me off to the point about Morgan Williams scoring the 66th point. That's what I always say. I put out these videos, you use the knowledge, and fill in all the pieces I missed. And it turned out there was a whole lot more to this. So 111 was the big number. I just want to come down here real quick, and I want to show you that Dak Prescott's full name is Rain Dakota Prescott with 2 T's, and that name in Gematria sums to 111 in reverse reduction, the exact same as Mississippi State. This man played at Mississippi State. Now this big 111 tribute. As I've been saying, these professional athletes, these collegiate athletes, a lot of them are Manchurian athletes, meaning they were born and bred to be. They were even named accordingly. And a lot of times it seems they were birthed accordingly, meaning there's rituals going on even before they exist. Planned pregnancies, planned childbirthing. If this sounds crazy, I've been documenting this for 3 years and my work has backed itself up. This stuff happens again and again and again. Dak Prescott's currently 23 years old. I'll show you what's so special about that number in regards to the Cowboys. Cowboys, or the singular cowboy, equals 83, just like football. And 83 is the 23rd prime number. 83, the 23rd. They said the best QB draft class ever was the class of 83. Something I also documented earlier in this season about women's college basketball, it was in the early weeks of the season, ESPN put out this article about how if UConn won the championship this year, they would have won 113 straight games. They lost in their 112th game against Mississippi State. The championship would have been number 113. 113, very special number to this study, also corresponding with Dallas where the championship was. And I share this piece as a reminder that sometimes these perfect alignments, in terms of the sports scripting, they're too perfect to be the championship team. But now you can understand why they were talking about this number all year. If UConn wins it all, it'll be their 113th straight win. Well, as we know, it wasn't to be, but it was just shy of that, and the loss came in Dallas. You see? 113 is this special number to Scottish Rite Freemasonry. That is who's responsible for this numerical encoding and rigging of sports. Scottish 113, like mainstream, like dishonest. You know, think about how the green screen can be used to deceive you. Think about who the master of the green screen is. George Lucas. See his movie THX 1138, 113. Anyway, dishonest 113, bullshit 113, fiction 113. These sports games, they're not exactly fiction, but in a way, they're definitely dishonest. But they're all scripted, much like a novel or a theater performance. They're acting out a fake athletic competition. And this is what's going on at your professional and your collegiate levels. I don't think at the collegiate level, everyone on the sports team's in on it. I think at the professional level, they definitely all are. Couple more notes on this woman who hit the game winner, Morgan William. We talked about her 66 name Gematria, making the 66th point. Morgan William also sums to 147, this super important number to Freemasonry. Freemason has the Gematria of 147. If you go to my blog and in the top left corner search 147, there's going to be about 1,000 posts that come up showing the routine use of this number in sports, scripting, election rigging, ritual murders, bogus news stories, false flag shootings. It is just a number they use again and again. Morgan William 147, Freemason 147. This is the big story today, April Fool's Day. It was already April Fool's Day when this game was played last night at Greenwich Mean Time, where the powers that shouldn't be go by. You know, this big win came on April Fool's Day, already at that point, in that part of the world's time. You know what I mean? April Fool's has the 147 Gematria like Freemason, like Morgan William. I'm sure another Manchurian athlete. What an awkward name, you know? Morgan William. MW. Doesn't sound very feminine. Also, yesterday's date had the 71 numerology, the date of the upset. It was March 31st in the U.S. March Madness 71, MSST, the acronym for Mississippi State University. Again, March Madness also sums to 64, like the tie score. Connecticut, the team that often dominates March Madness with the matching Gematria. Keep in mind that Mississippi State, they're the Bulldogs, just like Gonzaga. I said before the tournament began, Gonzaga had everything lining up for it this year. If there was ever a year they were going to win the championship, it would be this year. It's their first time in the Final Four. We'll see what happens. There's major narratives for North Carolina. There's major narratives for all four of the teams in the men's tournament, to be perfectly honest. So we'll see what happens. Gonzaga is the only team that doesn't have a 93 coded on them, and the championship's on the 93rd day of the year. We'll see what that means. Also, something I want to point out, the Las Vegas announcement of the Raiders moving to Las Vegas, that was on a very specific date that had a major connection to the upcoming Super Bowl. We've now seen two teams in this offseason get major tributes, and there could have been more, but I've only been caught these two so far. But we've seen two NFL teams get major tributes having to do with the Super Bowl. They are the Raiders and the Cowboys now. And I wanted to see if an article had been written in recent history about a Raiders-Cowboys Super Bowl. And Sports Illustrated last year, Peter King, did write an article about how this would be a very lucrative Super Bowl for the NFL. You know, I'm not saying it's going to be Raiders-Cowboys. There's a lot more homework to do. There's a lot more clues that will be left before the season rolls around and as the season rolls along. But here we are, you know, beginning of April. Raiders, Cowboys. It was written about last year for Sports Illustrated. These are two teams in the hunt for the Super Bowl that are competitive. Something to think about. They use that word dream. Since it's April 1st, you know, they call it the American dream, right? Dream 41. 41's the 13th prime number. USA equals 41. Think about the United States of America. 41, the 13th prime number. 13 colonies, 13 stripes. That's also the Super Bowl number. Super Bowl. And what I noticed about Oakland and Dallas is Oakland in reverse reduction is 41, and so is Dallas. Dallas, 41, the 13th prime. 41 years ago, this will be Super Bowl 52 this year. 41 years ago was Super Bowl 11. The Raiders played Minnesota in that Super Bowl. Minnesota's hosting. Minnesota's hosting Super Bowl 52, right? Minnesota 52. Also, Raiders. That's what I want to show you. Raiders is also 52. Minnesota and Raiders have some serious alignment. And just think about their symbols. A Viking, a Raider, you know, ships, pirates, a Raider and a cowboy. We'll see. You know, it's a possibility. They're dropping some major clues. We'll pay attention. More are sure to come. Just wanted to again show you guys how these games are scripted. The 111 thing was mind-blowing enough, but then realizing how it synced up with Dak Prescott, who went to that school and who watched the game, you know, that's just where it gets way more mind-blowing. Also, from his birthday, his 23rd birthday to this game is 35 weeks, where the ladies' team just won, upsetting UConn. The upcoming Super Bowl's on the 35th day of the year. I do expect even more than the Raiders to be in the Super Bowl, the Patriots again. I think the Patriots and Tom Brady are definitely going to be in Super Bowl 53 in Atlanta. I'm finding out a lot about that one. But Tom Brady could theoretically go to 3 straight Super Bowls. He could, you know, he just won, scripted in Houston. He could win in Minnesota, and he could win in Atlanta, Super Bowl 53 to close out his career. But if he's not to go in one of these years, you know, Raiders in the AFC, there's a narrative for them. They're a good competitive team right now. And again, the Patriots, their whole dynasty thing began with the Raiders and the tuck rule, what should have been the fumble. Football fans know what I'm talking about. So that's the news for now. Going to do one more video today, then I got to write the rest of the day away. The next video, a special on April Fool's Day. I want people to know about the Freemasons and April Fools and what this is really all about. You know, there's an elite, a world elite playing the world for fools every single day, not just April Fool's Day. April Fool's Day is just a reminder. You know, rigged sports, major part of playing the world for fools. Think about how many millions of people watch sports around the world, probably billions, and don't even know that they're rigged, when it couldn't be any more clear. Until next time.